Hi guys, welcome back to the NFT Talks. I'm your host Sean, and today's episode we have Masterbuz. Now, Masterbuz is a founder of NFT Media Box, and NFT Media Box are responsible for NFT projects such as Arabian Camels and Monster Rehab. Now, if you haven't heard about these projects, you definitely need to go check these out. He's going to talk about everything that's happening in the NFT space, PFP projects, how they started building communities, what they're doing with NFT Media Box. So much value, so much gems. So do not miss this one. So guys, don't forget to subscribe, leave your comments down below, and let's help build this community. All right, so welcome back to NFT Talks. Now, today I am here with Masterbuz, who's the CEO of NFT Media Box. Now, NFT Media Box are responsible for a lot of NFT collectibles. Some you may know if you're in NFT space. So you got the Arabian Camels, and then obviously you got the Monsters Rehab, which is a recent project which has got a lot of hype in NFT space at the moment. And if you don't know about NFT Media Box, this is what it's your chance to actually get some more information and understand what they're doing, because they're doing so much for the community. So welcome, Masterbuz. Thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, Sean.
Yeah,
love the setup here. You're very professional. Appreciate it, bro.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Let's get straight into it. I want to know a bit more about yourself. Like I said, mysterious character. I mean, if you can catch you in the clubhouses, then you're there, you have it, and you're in there for a bit, and then you're gone. Like, I'm happy to get some time with you and just to understand your story, understand a bit about your background first of all, and then obviously how you got into the NFT space and what you're doing now. So, yeah, if you can just take it from there, and then we can just we get into it straight away.
Excellent. Well, Sean, just a bit of background on myself. I've been in business. I'm a young man, around 34 years of age.
Okay.
And I've been, I guess, in business for the last 10 years. And I was, I did a 2-year mission in South Africa under the former president of American Express. It was a Christian mission. And while there, I guess I learned a lot, not only about myself, but also business from David E. Paulson. And I came home and got married, had kids, started a few different businesses. I have a logistics company for shipping worldwide, the likes of DHL and UPS. I have a franchising companies that we franchise out, like a cookie cutter company is what we call them, where if there's a great business model, we look at that and then we replicate it and franchise it out. So I've been doing a lot of that for the last 9 years, and consulting on different projects. And I've been in the movie industry for about 3 years.
Cool.
And in that arena, it's just been more along the lines of doing presentations, raising funds for movies, while also, preparing my own content that I want to get created. So this is kind of the stepping stone into the next question, like how did I get into the NFT space? So in November, I started looking at a few of the bigger NFT projects like CryptoKitties and CryptoPunks, and saw some of the utility that was in the market. The majority of the NFTs out there don't have utility, but I noticed the ones that are still around for years and years have amazing communities and a lot of utility behind them. So I dive into the space, learning more about it. At the same time, I'm producing an animated movie with an amazing company called Lionforge Animation. And this company is run by David Stewart Jr. and also Carl Reeds, amazing individuals. This is the biggest Black-owned animation studio in North America. And working on this amazing project. And we had a distributor come along and say, hey, listen, guys, we'd love to give you guys 20 million. And we're going to distribute this through North America to 2,500 theaters. Dream come true, really. Like, wow, this is exactly what we want for my own IP that I created, that I've been working on with this Oscar-winning studio. And now I have distribution before we even draw the characters, just based on the theme and story alone. So we sat down with this distributor. Now there's only 8 distributors in all of America, so it's a huge monopoly that these guys have over the cinema industry.
Yeah.
And sitting down, the guy basically says, listen, I want your film rights for free. And once, we make our money back, we put 20 million in for the movie, leave 30 million for marketing. So after all of that, you can have 1% of whatever the movie makes. So obviously, like for me, money isn't really an issue. I'm not in for the money. I'm in here to create. I love creating things, love, entertaining people, and building a fan base around something that I can be involved with as well. So I said no, rejected the guy's offer, and he told me, he's like, just because you're black doesn't mean you can't make this movie. Anyone can make this movie. It's about a black rapping princess.
Okay.
So
right.
he felt as though like, hey, you don't. He's right. You don't need to be black to make
true,
black featured movies. But again, it was like being used and taking my ideas, my creation, and stealing them. But we were able to sort that out very quickly. So that's not an issue now. But I realized then that every creator has to rely on a gatekeeper, like a distributor or an investor or these producers that basically will say, well, actually, I want this to happen in the movie. The creator really never gets their opportunity to get what they want on screen, unless you're someone like J.K. Rowling or Brandon Sanderson, and you've wrote these amazing books that come straight from you. So I saw NFTs as a way of not only getting funding for a certain type of IP, let's say Monster Rehab, for example. It's an idea. There's backstories to the characters. There's a pilot script. And so it's pretty fleshed out. And you bring it to a community, let's say the NFT Media Box community, say, hey, listen, if you guys want a comic book, we need 1,000 in sales. If you want a virtual Monster Rehab that you can visit, we need 3,000 in sales. If you want to start developing this into a TV show, we need 5,000 in sales. So in 1 week, we were able to do 5,300 in sales. Wow. And we hit all our roadmap marks. So very excited, very happy, because the community decided if they wanted this or not. Now, I mean, I could go down the road and get investors and all that rubbish, but now we're in a position where I can actually make this IP with the community and get their involvement. Hey, like, this character is going to go this direction. What do you guys think? And give them behind the scene access. And it's been an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And obviously it's something that we want to do for creators as well. So if you are a creator and you have a media driven NFT idea, we want to help you out. We want to help you make your vision a reality. And of course the creator will take the lion's share. And that, with NFTs and cryptocurrencies, this is now possible. It wasn't possible before.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things you touched on there, and I really want to make sure I highlight all these for people listening, because there's going to be people in the space that understand where you're coming from, and then there's people out the space that haven't really got a clue and just want to listen in. And I think someone like yourself, what you're doing, it's important for these people that are not in the space yet to be in contact and to be looking at what you're doing.
Thank you.
Because I feel that one, you're out to help people first, and you're all about community, and that just, I feel that's the vibe that I get when I've been in the space for a while now, and that's the vibe I get from everywhere. It's all about helping each other, and then building something. And it's about not using these institutions, these gatekeepers, to get one person to say you can do this or you can't do this, and it's open the doors for creators. I mean, one question I want to ask yourself, Masterbuz, is how important is it to keep control of your rights, to have you can control your IP and not give that away as a creator?
So if I was to ask you, who are the biggest Black entertainers in the industry right now, I wouldn't say the biggest, I say who are the wealthiest?
The wealthiest, yeah. You'd be looking at like people like Will Smith, maybe Denzel Washington potentially.
Oprah, Tyler Perry.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. You're talking about yeah. Oh yeah, of course. I'm thinking actors. Yeah, Oprah, Tyler Perry. Yeah, of course.
That's no problem.
Kanye West.
Kanye West. These are people who keep the rights to their products. Okay, and that's one thing. And just watching interviews from these people, Oprah told Tyler Perry, never ever give over your rights, never sell your rights to, like, even when you say that, it's like kind of obvious, like, don't sell your rights to someone else. And that's what they've done, and they've been hugely successful. And in some cases, there's IP out there that's not close to your heart. I mean, I have certain projects that I'll give you an example. There's like called Rockwell, the Destroying Angel. It's about this guy who didn't cut his hair, and he's immortal. And like this is an actual, like, well, apparently it's a true story, but this guy didn't cut his hair, and basically no one could kill him. And he was this Western guy who killed more people than like Billy the Kid and all these other Western outlaws. So like that story there, if someone came along to me and said, hey, listen, we'll give you 2 million, 3 million, and sure, have the rights. I don't care. But something like Monster Rehab, where it's close to my heart, and I want to build this with a community. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna give up the rights on that. Why would I do that? I think if you look at Stan Lee, it's another perfect example.
Yeah,
Stan Lee, like Marvel, how much money has Marvel made in the last
ridiculous amount? Yeah, probably. I wouldn't know the figures, but I assume it's going to be in the billions. I'm assuming.
Toys, blankets, everything. And the guy died with 50 million in his pocket, which is nothing to, like, you know, be ashamed of. But again, that's not even a percentage. He created Spider-Man. Like, I don't know for you, but like for me, Spider-Man growing up was like, I've got so many Spider-Man stories that inspired me when I was a kid and as a teenager. So it's just a really interesting place to be in. Yes, you can sell your rights and you can make a bit of money, or, you know, pull George Lucas, guy who owned Star Wars and sold it for $2 billion. It's an amazing opportunity for with NFTs, especially. You do not have to give up your rights to your IP just for the sake of money.
The interesting thing, Masterbuz, is that some people may ask, some people may say, is that, look, I'm a creative, I've got no money. I am in it for them. I need money now to survive. Otherwise, I can't keep on creating. So that's when these individuals may sign deals and give away their rights to survive. Yeah. But I feel that with NFTs, the approach that you've taken is that, okay, then if you're supportive of what we're doing and you can buy into what I'm doing now, that's the investment. And you've got something that you can give in return at a later stage as you build. And I feel that that's the great. I feel that's. I don't know if you agree with myself, but I feel that's a great thing with the NFTs. Like, you're able to do things from scratch, and the real supporters are able to show their support in a way and be involved with the project and gain from the project together. Everyone wins. It's like a win-win.
Exactly, it's a win-win for everyone. And just give you an example with Arabian Camels. Even though Arabian Camels wasn't used to fund an IP, that IP was already ready-made, and we serviced the entire franchise in providing them with Arabian Camels. Like, I thought of that idea in April, and 4 weeks later, we had sold 600 ETH worth of camels. Crazy. So like that.
How much is that? How much is that in? Just put it into like either US or sterling. Could you convert?
I have no idea. Well, I know 420 ETH's around $1 million. I believe. So that just gives you an example of, like, obviously some of that was on the secondary market, but that's the revenue that's been generated in like 6 weeks since we launched Arabian Camel. So, like, yes, if you are a creative and you can find people that believe in you and that are willing to help you, you know, get your IP out there. Like, honestly, just 3 years ago when I started, you know, writing and creating things, there was about a year-long process of refining some of my ideas, because they were like, I go back and I look at some of the things I created and I'm embarrassed. I'm like, oh man, that's so bad. But you can definitely work on these things over time. Just please don't think you're going to be an overnight sensation. Refine your IP, make sure it's brilliant, and then move forward with it.
All right. How about if I do a screen share and I jump onto NFT Media Box, and then you can kind of just talk me through just the project and a bit more, in, like, if anyone wants to get involved, a bit about the camels, a bit about obviously Monster Rehab. Would that be cool?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Okay, even the about us. You want to go
and about you? Yeah. Okay. Let me just share this.
What we do.
Cool. Share. All right. Can you see that now?
Yes, absolutely. Like, Sean, just looking at yourself, you seem like a creative, and you've got this little YouTube channel that you're doing, and like, you know, anyone with a camera and a voice, you can do anything. You just got to build that community around you. So I'm 100% in believing, you know, hard work equals success.
Yeah, 100%. So can you see Monster Rehab?
I can, yeah.
Okay. So where should we start? Should we start with about us? Just a bit about yourselves, NFT. So you can actually understand what you're doing, because I think, like I said, when I obviously heard about you guys, but I didn't really understand the in depth of what you were doing within the space. So that's I really like you to share that, and so people can know and reach out to you guys.
Yeah. So as it says right there, we create media-driven NFTs that will provide our community with unique utility and opportunities to take part in our projects that we drop. So this month is Monster Rehab. Next month will be something different and unique. Next month we're doing another Arabian themed NFT that's completely free to our users. We're doing breeding, which is free. So if you have an NFT Media Box NFT, future NFT drops will also be free. So it's a really great position to be in. And we're not only focusing on TV shows and movies, but also video games. We've got music attached to our projects. We've novels, obviously the comics, and we're even looking at some sports athletes and football clubs as well. I'm sorry about what happened yesterday as well, man. Really sorry about the football.
I'm from the UK. Yeah, England lost. It's the nature of the sport, isn't it?
Man, I'm Irish, so my wife's from Manchester, man, and I was so happy. I was rubbing it out. She kept for weeks. It's coming home. No, it's not.
Coming home. It's going to Rome. It's gone to Rome.
Good. It's good fun though. Good fun.
It's good fun. I mean, like the thing is, like, that's a moment in history, and I'm sure there should be NFTs created around that. Like, these are the things that the people are going to remember. I don't know if you've written this out, so I'm not sure if anyone's doing that, but it's an idea someone can do.
You enjoying it?
So just to talk, so obviously you got here's communities, everything. So once again, you talk about the community, you touch on the metaverse. So tell me a little bit about that side.
So we started our community around May 14th, about a week before we dropped Arabian Camels. And, we went, I guess this was kind of sneaky, but I knew what I was doing in regards to I was trying to get people into my Discord so that when I did drop Arabian Camels, they would have, they'd be there and be excited for what we're doing. So I did a lot of free pieces of art for Bored Ape holders, Meebit holders, Ghost holders, just saying, hey, listen, I'd love to do a GIF of your ape. I'll send them across later for you to look at. But it was just I get gold chain to a monkey or something silly. But if you wanted to get this for free, you just have to go into the Discord and join us. So I did that for a couple of weeks, and we had a couple of hundred people in there, and they were influential NFT holders in the space. But I told them I was doing Arabian Camels, and they went. Everyone invited 50 people, and in about 2 weeks we had 2,000 people in the Discord.
Is it that easy, Masterbuz? Though, is it that easy? I mean, the fact that would you say that you have a connection? Say you knew somebody who could had a bit of had the knowledge, or I mean, you just invite someone to invite 50 people in, because this is one thing I've spoken to a lot of creators, people that want to do projects, and they're saying, where do I start? And my first piece of advice is obviously do your research and understand put a package together in regards to your NFT and add layers to it so it's valuable to your consumer, and then build the community. But is it easier just inviting people and getting them in, and does people just join in and think, oh, this is great? Or is it just easy as that?
you know what's funny, right? I've done work for people for free in the past.
Okay. Yeah.
Who have not brought anything to the table in the end. They, people who are hustling, hey, if we could just do this, and you've done work for free. I think doing work for free for the right people is essential. And I'll give you two examples. Dave Chappelle, who is a comedic genius, go out into parks and just do stand-up, okay? And he would build a following and build crowds, and he'd go into bars, and then people would be texting, oh, this comedian is hilarious, and then people would just come in, they text their friends to come watch, and he built up this massive following. And the other is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan met with Dana White in the early 2000s or late 90s, and offered to do commentating on the UFC fights for free. And he did it for free for about a year. The UFC covered all his flights and his travel, and after a year they offered him a job because he was so good at it. So with the ape community, I approached influential apes who had clout, who are good guys as well, who would be willing to help me out. And they did that. They said they would give me shout outs on Twitter, they give me shout outs on in the Discords. And I just had people flock into the Discord. Like I literally would say in 2 weeks, I had about 100, I did about 100 pieces, had 150 plus people in the Discord. And then when I said we're launching Arabian Camels, literally in 2 weeks, we had 2,000 people in the Discord. So it is that easy. And with the right, doing free stuff for the right people would be my advice.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you highlight that, because I don't want to give anyone the false impression that you were just like, okay, I'm going to create something now, and then I'm going to create a Discord, and then everyone comes rushing in. Like that isn't the case. I mean, you've done your legwork, whether it's with this or beforehand. You've offered your service to somebody else for free, and obviously you do well. A lot of the times people will give back, hopefully, and not always the case, but in your case it worked out, and obviously now you've got these amazing projects and a lot of buzz around it. Like, tell me a bit more about Monster Rehab and the concept behind that, and a bit about the characters, what you're looking to do future wise, and then we can talk about how you would get one.
Yeah, so Monster Rehab, I'm in an office here, so there's people outside the door, so I apologize for the loud talking. The Monster Rehab is a unique IP that is created in-house for the purpose of becoming a comic or a TV show. And the story revolves around Bram, the vampire that's scared of blood, Charles, the zombie that's a vegan, and also Spike, who's a hairless werewolf. So each one of these characters have an amazing backstory, and each one, is completely unique. And as you dive into them and learn more about them, you can really fall in love with the characters. So we have our main cast, we have our villain, we have our supporting characters. And then as you, when you minting's over now, but you'll see on the secondary market, each monster is completely different and unique because they're all randomly generated as well. So this is the first NFT project to have 12 completely different and unique characters with their own asset set as well. Okay,
so what does the NFT come with itself? Okay, you get the character, the unique in its own right. Do they come with utility? Why would I purchase an NFT, a Monster Rehab NFT?
Great. Well, right there on the roadmap, you'll see you get a unique piece of art. You get a rap song by Raptal Musa, who's a German artist. He's sold over 500,000 copies or albums. He's worked with Snoop Dogg, Busta Rhymes, Exhibit. He's a real talent. The monsters will be able to breed with the camels in August. We're hoping to also have monster-to-monster breeding as well. They get voting rights on the comics, behind the scenes on the comics. And then, you'll see that we've already started production on the graphic novel with Lineforge Animation. We're going to be starting to build the Monster Rehab soon as well, along with starting the development of the TV show, because we've reached all those roadmap activations.
Oh, crazy. So you actually reached the 5K in sales, and that's on the books in regards to doing the actual TV show.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. So if you have one, and then the TV show's made, then it becomes very popular, let's say, then potentially that NFT is going to be worth a lot of money potentially, isn't it?
Exactly. And something you want to do in the future is drop another NFT for Monster Rehab, but give people the opportunity to have shares as well in the TV show. So let's say, so instead of, I'd love to see it on Netflix, but again, networks decide what happens in the show, not the creators. Yeah. So ideally we drop this on our own network, our own distribution service, and the people who invest in it will get it for free, and whoever watches it who doesn't have an NFT will have to pay for it, or they'll have to watch an ad, and all that ad revenue can go back to the community.
That's dope. And have you got anything planned in the future of regards to any other projects then? I mean, because this is obviously the NFT Media Box isn't just obviously Monster Rehab, it isn't just camels. Yeah. So is there anything you got that you can drop, potentially give us a little insight?
We're doing 12. We're doing 12 projects this year, so be ready. Wow. Like every month we're going to do something completely different and unique. I know the next thing we're looking at is something called Rap Zoo, which about 2 monster hunters that also rap. So there'll be more on that in September.
Yeah, you've met twice now. I've noticed, and you've mentioned obviously rap and whatnot. So how big of an influence is like hip hop culture on these projects? I mean, is there a reason why you're including it? Like, because I noticed that's
well, I think it's just some black man. I like hip hop. that's just
you do what you like in it. Yeah,
exactly. I like it, man. There's no excuse. I know. Well, obviously, Addis, he's our Raptile is the head of our music, and he's got those connections as well in that industry. We are speaking to, people out in the Middle East who do opera and all these different types of music that I'm not into. But there are some things coming up that won't be rap related, but there will be like lots of different types of music to appeal to a wider audience as well.
I mean, I know we had a conversation off the record, off recording, but it's how I mean, I'm surprised that there isn't, like, obviously, like regards to the rap culture is so influential in the world at the moment. Hip hop, like, there's nothing really going on in this space at this very point.
Yeah.
Including that, so it's interesting to see that. I mean, I've seen one project that's more rap, but there isn't a lot of things going on, and I feel it needs to be more. There needs to be more projects involved in that, because I feel that that's going to help build the space.
Yeah, I think just right now, and within the community, obviously there's a few black creators and black artists in the community, and once more people jump into the space, you're going to see a lot more, I think, urban fashion and urban styles and art and NFTs, and for sure. Like, I mean, I'm a businessman first, so I'm trying to get this broad appeal. So that is the goal to start out with. But once we get more comfortable in the space and we have a bigger following, you're definitely going to see more. I guess Africa, because I've got African ancestry and I lived in Africa 2 years, so we do have some African styled NFTs planned for the future as well.
Touching on Africa, I mean, I'm going to just bring it up because obviously Africa's a massive nation. Obviously, if anyone knows, I think it's 1.2 billion people. I mean, half the people ain't connected to the internet at this point. I think crypto is going to be the hub for crypto in the future. I'm not sure if you feel the same for that way, but how well do you think NFTs are going to do over there? I mean, I'm not sure if it's not big over there at this point, but in the future, how will it help there? Because you've lived over there, so. Yeah,
that's a really good question. So, I lived in Soweto, which is one of the poorest townships in the world, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful country and beautiful people, and I'll tell you, they are completely connected with like the internet and the world, and obviously Soweto is more advanced than most places in Africa. But like, listen, they have phones. There's these tin huts called makukus, and you'd go into these makukus, which are literally made out of tin, and there would be a BMW parked at the front and a 50-inch widescreen in this makuku, and that's just because that's just the life that they're used to. And it's you go in, they're playing, like, at the time, this is like 2010, playing the PlayStation 3, and like life's good there. So they love technology, they love like, from my experience being in Africa, it's such a great, strong community. If one person has a success there, or if there's one thing to celebrate over there, everyone jumps on board as well. So you'll definitely see that once it starts picking up in places like South Africa, especially South Africa, because South Africa is the hub of Africa, that will spread out through all of Africa as well. And when you talk about cryptocurrency, I know Akon is doing a lot in that space as well, and we're actually working with his company Hit Labs. They just did a villa party for us at Cannes for Arabian Camels. Well, it's not for Arabian Camels, sorry, for Antara, the franchise, which Arabian Camels are attached to. So I think we dropped some videos actually on Twitter for people to look at. Just like we are involved with Akon, and obviously we're looking at Africa as well. And those African focused NFTs will hopefully drop at the right time, because I just feel that it's an untapped market, but also the people there could hugely benefit from cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and there's unfortunately a lot of corruption there in governments.
Yeah.
So we just hope that these NFTs can give people more freedom to I guess to enrich their not enrich their lives, because when I say that these are the happiest people in the world, they're the happiest people in the world, but to become more monetary rich.
Yeah, I think I feel the same. Like it gives people the opportunity to do things for themselves without a middleman having to get without the gatekeepers. That's the best way to put it. Is like without the gatekeepers, they as long as they've got a connection, they can connect to anyone around the world and express themselves, whatever creative, if they're creative in any way, and have an opportunity to make and monetize, like you just said. So without that language barrier, potentially without having the trust factor, I think that at the moment that's stopping people from growing worldwide. I feel that's my.
Well, I was speaking to a guy from Zimbabwe a few weeks back, and like they've banned cryptocurrency just because the government there, obviously as corrupt as they come, know the potential it can bring. So you've seen the same thing unfortunately in China, where they've banned some cryptocurrencies. Now, in fairness to China, they've actually released their own cryptocurrency for people to use. But again, it's just like it's freeing people up. It's turning average Joes like me and you, in a year's time, if we have 100 ether or even like 50 ETH, it could be worth millions. So it's an interesting space to be in. I mean, there's guys who I know who started buying cryptocurrencies in 2011, and you can imagine where they're at now. Like it's just unheard of amount of money. So this will be the same thing in Africa. People will start getting into cryptocurrencies, and it's going to free a lot of people, man.
Yeah. Off the back of what you just said then, Masterbuz, is that a lot of guys that have invested at early stage of crypto and they've got a lot of crypto now. Like one question I get is, why are things selling for so much? Like they think, and what I would say is that, okay, then it depends on what project is, but you've got to realize that there's people with a lot of cryptocurrency, a lot of money that they didn't have before. So 500,000 to $1 million maybe not a lot. It's not a lot. I mean, if you feel the same to some people, because they've made so much money, in a short space of time, and they're keeping it within the system rather than taking it out to fiat because you get taxed.
No, absolutely. Like it's insane. But if you look at Beeble, for example, selling his art for 69 million. So I have no idea how much ETH that guy has in his accounts. But I can't remember his name, unfortunately. And there's him and his business partner
who bought it.
Yeah,
the billionaire from India, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a billionaire from India, but he's been in the space since 2011.
Yeah.
So ETH, or I don't know if ETH was out back then, but like buying cryptocurrencies back then, 1,000 ETH for maybe $1. Some people might have put in $1,000 for the laugh. Oh my gosh, can you even imagine? So like that's the situation a lot of people are in. Why are people buying? Because they've got. I mean, even if I had 30 billion, I still wouldn't buy a CryptoPunk for $11 million. So that's just, I couldn't do it. I lived in Africa, man. I understand what money can do for people. And but if people want to do that, I mean, they have the right to do what they want with their money, and they can see it as an investment, a tax investment. They don't have to pay taxes on it if they buy a piece of art. It's an asset. So there's lots of different reasons why people purchase things, and a lot of dumb reasons why as well. So when it comes to things like paying that much money for a piece of art, my answer is no comments, basically.
Okay. Well, okay. So what about you then? Do you collect any, obviously apart from your own projects, are you a collector yourself? Have you bought any NFTs or?
Yeah, I'm actually, it's great that you asked that question. So our focus for the next few months is to spend at least $1,000 a month on helping smaller artists. And we're going to buy the art and give them away to the community. So I've already started picking up little pieces just to give away to community members.
Do the people contact you, or you're just looking out there on different platforms?
Yeah, I just jumped in some clubhouse and said, hey, are there any artists in here? And there'll be like 30 of them. I said, okay, well, I have $1,000 here. First 10 people to DM me, I'll buy your your pieces of art. And that,
Oh, literally.
yeah, so I've literally done that 2 or 3 times. And
I believe you too, because you did it with the giveaway, didn't you?
Okay.
I was in there. I was trying to change my display picture quickly. You're like, go to Twitter, change to this, and then you'll get a monster.
Did you get it? What was it, for a camel or a monster?
It was for a monster. It was for a monster when you first
Did you get one?
No, I didn't get one.
Oh, bro.
I was rushing.
Send me your wallet. Send me your wallet. I'm gonna hook you up, Sean.
I was trying to get one, man.
I'm gonna hook you up. Don't you worry. You send me your wallet after this interview, and I'll hook you up.
All right, then, thanks, brother. I appreciate that, man.
No problem.
So moving forward, where do you see what industries do you feel that are going to really take off apart from, I mean, you touched on film, music, and the comics. What do you really think is going to be the next thing to blow? I know art is massive at the moment. Music is slowly taking off.
Great question. Because Monster Rehab, we sell it as a collectible, okay, which it is.
Okay.
But we're seeing these as memberships, okay. Like, we want members in our community, and members get free stuff for years. Like every few months, we're going to be dropping free stuff for that specific NFT. So I'm seeing these as memberships.
All right.
That's what the Bored Apes did as well, even though, like, the Bored Apes don't really have real utility, and they're just pieces of art, but you do get membership into their Bored Ape Club. And I have two apes, and it was a great networking opportunity for me.
Yeah.
So I see that right now this membership space will be huge. I'm really happy that no one's focusing on media except for us. So hopefully we can do this for a year before any big corporations like Disney or anyone else jumps in. But I think gaming has had, fungible tokens for years, and I believe that as more gaming industries, I know people who are working for AAA gaming companies, and they've looked at it. They are doing NFTs as we speak, so that will be huge for the industry. I can't wait for that, because I mean, if you look at GTA is an amazing video game. Like, it's so good.
I spent so many hours playing
GTA. When did that come out? Like, that's 10 years ago that came out or something, right?
I was playing on the PC. And the bird's eye view. Like,
oh hell, that's back in the day, bro. Back in the day. So the recent one, GTA 5, I'm terrible with names and numbers. That's been out nearly 10 years. Yeah, and that's still being played by 60 million people a month. If they were to release a decentralized version of GTA as a metaverse, game over. Game over. Like, there's no point for the Sandbox or Decentraland or any of these other games, which are great games and great platforms, but just be ready for GTA and Rockstar to drop something like that into the space. And
100%. I just think it's like obviously everyone refers to the film Ready Player One.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like that. Literally, you'll be in your game. How many hours when I played GTA, I remember going to the gym with my character. I was going to the store to buy clothes. I was buying different outfits when I did a mission. And you find yourself doing these things because you actually, people say, well, why would you live in this? Why would you go into the metaverse? But you do, you take pride in your character.
Boys are, it's for my boys, man. Like, man, the people don't understand, like, I haven't been able to play video games for the last 2 months because of all the work I've been doing.
Okay.
But the way I hang out with my friends, it's usually on Call of Duty or Rainbow Six or GTA. And we'll sit down. It's like, okay, where are we going to heist today? Yeah. Where are we going in Verdansk? That's you know what I'm talking about. But that's just life for a lot of people, and especially a lot of men. Like, we're very simple people. We just like eating food and playing video games. Like, that's it.
Yeah, then you can just roll over and go straight to bed. You don't have to get taxed.
Exactly.
All right. So what's your thoughts? I'm just going to ask you. So what's your thoughts on, like, fashion then? Because I always like to ask people this, because I'm really, I see fashion and just like, I just see really taking off. I know people are a bit wary about it with the augmented reality side of it, but I just feel like fashion and gaming, that collaboration.
Bro, it is like, my first time buying like a skin in a game was in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was playing Fortnite, and everyone looked the same. And I saw, like, there's this guy with a disco ball and the afro and disco outfit. I'll pay $10 for him.
Yeah.
And a year later, I've spent $200+ on buying what they call vanity items, right? Because you're into this, it gives you a sense of identity in a space that's full of other people. So I think, like, man, fashion and gaming will be like, people think of Nike. If Nike was to launch their
Crypto kicks. Have you looked into it already?
What? Sorry.
So Nike's already got a patent for something called crypto kicks.
Oh, bro, game over.
And they can, and the NFT trainers, and then you can breed the trainers together and make another trainer.
Like that's what I'm talking about. Like these are the type of things where people, like, you'll be buying virtual sneakers for more than you will actual sneakers.
100%.
And I think the beauty of it is they won't wear, they won't break. You can.
It makes sense. Are you a trainer collector yourself? Do you collect trainers or anything like that? Or
my little brother does. Like, okay. I walk around in sandals all day. I've been working from home for the last 10 years.
Comfort over fashion, yeah.
Exactly. I'm a comfort over fashion type of guy. So my little brother, who's more black than me, I guess is the most racist way of saying it. He's got all the kicks, the high tops, the Jordans, and the cool hoodies.
Yeah.
But again, he's 21 and he loves his sneakers, but he's also 100% buying vanity items in his GTA and his Fortnite and all the games as well.
Because at the end of the day, the way I see it is, it is a bit of vanity. It's a bit of clout. Oh, look, I've got these trainers. Look at me. But you buy these trainers. If you wear them, they lose value. So they don't wear them. They put them up, and think that they say, I'll wear it for the right occasion potentially, or they just might save it to make money. So if you brought a physical trainer and that came with an NFT digital, you could still wear it in the metaverse, and it still could be exclusive, and people will know you got that trainer in real life. But it's just a bit like buying gold. Like you buy gold, but you don't have the gold on you. You don't carry it around with you. You keep it in the gold, and when you're ready to sell it, you just sell it, and it still holds value because there's
love it. Yeah, are Nike doing that? Are Nike like selling trainers and get them in the virtual world?
They've brought the patent out for crypto kicks. 2019. They're looking into it. No one's really talked about it. They haven't really come out and said anything about it, but 100%, like the resale market is in the billions. Nike don't make a penny of that. If they put a little percentage of every trainer they sell when it's an NFT, how much money they make there, it's a no-brainer.
Wow. Man, I 100% would. If someone came along to me and said, hey, listen, I'm going to be selling sneakers and t-shirts, but you also get this in the GTA metaverse.
Yeah.
I'm in, bro. I'm in 100%. Like, tell me to take my money. That's how I feel. I think that's absolutely, that is a slamming idea, bro. That's good. Oh man, that crazy, makes me so angry. I get so angry to hear ideas I didn't think of.
Well, like these are things that are happening, man. And as we go along, like you're in the space, so things are happening day by day. Like literally, I think different projects are dropping. But where do you see the future, where the world will be in regards to NFTs? Space in the next, say, 10 years? How does the world look? What are people?
I think Ready Player One, what you've seen, like that will be it. But we won't be wearing VR headsets or bodysuits just yet. But 100%, I think you're gonna have the dream for NFT Media Box is to create that metaverse where all other metaverses attached to it.
Yeah.
And you just, let's go to this planet and we'll play a zombie game, or let's go to this planet and we'll watch a fashion show. And that's where it's going. It's just easier for people. Unfortunately, humans we're all very about what is the most convenient thing for me to do right now. And being able to wake up in the morning, go to work in a virtual metaverse, do your work there, and then not having to get the bus or get in the car and drive somewhere. That's just ideal. And I think you'll see that with gaming. Is people will be, we're already seeing it with gaming. I think there's something like 100 million people a day play video games, at least 1 hour a day of video games. So it's
gonna happen. Like I'm just sitting there like nodding my head. Everything you're saying is like, it's gonna happen. And people one thing I always say, people may argue and think, well, why would I spend my time in this virtual world? I said, you already do it with social media to a certain extent.
You're
not actually there. It's just everything evolving. And even the fact that we talk about virtual clothing, like why would I buy something that I can't wear? That's the argument they say. if you're not into that whole thing, if you're not into like this vanity buying and the computer games, eventually when you have to go in this virtual world, because the corporate world will go there too for meetings, if concerts will be held there, so a bit of FOMO. So if you go there and you got the standard character that you avatar that you buy with a vest and shorts,
Yeah.
you're not going to go to the concert in that. If your friends are going to the nice clothes, eventually you'll just do it because
You give in. You give in. You know, it's so interesting. The movie Ready Player One doesn't show that. In the book, in the book, it talks about how he has like just the plain avatar outfit, and he's like, super embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like, I mean, if you are wearing the default clothing in a metaverse, you're like, oh man, I need to get rid of this.
You gotta get that finger, right? You look at that default clothing.
Yeah, it's there. So yeah, got rid of that. Get rid of that default clothing. One thing I wanted to say to you, which people haven't really been talking about in the space, is play to earn.
Okay.
So play to earn. A few months back, I bought a node for Gala Games. And Gala Games have play to earn video games. So while you're playing it, you can earn cryptocurrencies. That is essentially what I think in Africa will be huge, where they could spend 12 hours a day in a video game playing and be making more money playing a video game than they will getting a job. Because in Africa, I was speaking to security guards that were making like €3 an hour, which is disgraceful. And corporations are talking like, oh yeah, we're fair to everyone. These major corporations that we see every single day are the same businesses that are paying people €3 to guard their facilities. So like I understand why there's a lot of crime there and a lot of corruption. People can barely survive. And if there was this global cryptocurrency, hey, if you come to our game and we'll give you X amount of dollars an hour, why on earth would I sit down as a security guard somewhere for £3 an hour?
Yeah, I love the fact that that's going to help people. And I mean, time is the value, isn't it? Time is the currency. And now the fact that you're going to put your time to something and be able to make some money, that I think it's just fantastic. I mean, how much money I lost out on playing computer games. Like I think I missed the trick here, man. I was a bit too early to the show.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, I mean, I love video games, and I think that's great that you brought that up. But fashion and video games together, it's the future.
It is.
Those three right there: the fashion, gaming, and the play to earn. If you could put all that together, which is basically what GTA can do. Yeah. Game over.
Yeah. Well, look, it was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you, Sean.
We talked about so much, we covered so much areas. I think it's great what you guys are doing. Like I said, anybody that's reached out to yourself, Masterbuz, genuine person. Like I reached out to you, you were cool. Like I said, so keep doing what you're doing. Stay real to yourself. I hope you achieve everything.
Trying, man. Gotta stay humble, bro. You gotta stay humble. I got my wife. My wife keeps me humble, brother. My wife keeps me humble.
That's it. and keep doing what you're doing. Like, guys, anyone listening that wants to reach out, like you're in Masterbuz in clubhouses. I know you're on Twitter, so if you want to leave the best way to contact yourself or contact obviously NFT Media Box, how should somebody do that?
Yeah, so if you want to find me on Twitter, I'm at Metacycle, and on Twitter. If you want to check our Discord out, which I'm in every day of the week, head to our website, nftmediabox.com, click on the Discord channel. But what I would recommend is that get yourself an NFT Media Box NFT. We are the premium NFT standard, along with some amazing utility. We've got a community of 4,000 people. Everyone's welcome. I mean, as soon as someone says, "Hey, I'm new here," people will storm you, and they'll just make you feel like family. So we're very anti-toxic group. So if you're a toxic person, don't join us. We don't want you around in the nicest way possible. But please, if you're looking to learn more about NFTs, if you're looking to just be with people, like-minded people, come join us.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. I'll make sure I'll put the links in below, so everyone can obviously click on them links and get through to you guys. But apart from that, guys, thank you for listening. Everyone stay listening and stay blessed.